You can see here, if you're not sure the contour of the breast, you can just come across there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go across the front here. Again, all the way to the back. Keep running the blade. I use the tip of the blade. That's the best part. And then I can work it. So I'm just going to keep running alongside the bone. Watching, hoping I don't cut myself. I'm going to come down to the bottom. And you can see the joints there. I'm just going to slip it right across the joint. This here, there's a little bit of meat on there. Again, this is going to be great if I put it on my pan. When I roast it, this is going to give a lot of flavor. Or if I want to put it straight in the stock pot. When I roast this with some vegetables and everything else, it's going to give me a lot more flavor. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to hide it over here as we don't have enough space here. And so I have 2 breasts ready to go. I'm going to take them, move them aside on the table here. I'm going to come back to my legs. Okay, this is the one. Everybody's familiar with the breasts, so now we got to deal with the legs. Deal with the legs is not a big issue. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If you take your thumb and the back here, take it, and you'll find that if you follow that, it'll come across here. You'll see 2 bumps here. If I take my thumb, it just pops right out. Okay, I don't have to do a lot of work. You can see it just pop right like that. And I'm just going to come across simply like that. Again, am I leaving some meat? Yes, I am leaving some meat. That's what I want to do. Same side, I'm going to follow that bone across here to there, put my thumb. And again, I'm no Hulkster. It doesn't take a lot of strength. It just simply pops out. Keep it nice and snug and tight. Again, another piece. We can put in our stock. We can put in our anything we want to do with this. Again, the meat will fall off when we cook it. So I'm going to take that, put it on a roasting pan. I have our legs, which we need to debone. Our breasts, which are already deboned. What we're going to do is 2 things with them. One, we're going to debone one of the legs, put the dark meat inside the white meat. We're going to roll it up. Okay? You may not have heard of that before, but we're going to make that. So when you cut it, there's going to be dark and white. It's going to be really neat looking. We're going to take the white, the other breast, we're going to pound it out. And then we're going to put some stuffing in it and have another thing to do. Our leg, we're going to debone this one, and then we're going to put just some kind of stuffing inside, maybe some Dijon mustard, and then we're going to put that in the oven, and then I'll show you how to tie these all. So now we need to get to this. All right, now we have our legs and our breasts. What I'm going to do is debone the legs. Where do I go? How do I cut it? What I'm going to do is reach into my oven, pull out one of the cooked legs. That there is what I need to do. So I need to follow that bone, get around all this, cut through this, and that's what I need to debone. So I'm just going to leave that there. Sometimes it's easier when I know where I'm cutting. I want to take the tip, I'm going to run across. I'm just running along the bone nice and tight. I'm just going to cut a little bit there. I'm going to spin it around. I know I need to go from here because I can see the joint. I'm going to go all the way to the end. Again, nice sharp knife, nice little cut there. And then I'm just, again, using the tip of the blade, running along the end there, cutting along the bone, getting as tight as I can. I'm going to work the other side. Again, being careful with my fingers. And I'm just going to keep running alongside it. I also am going to take the knife, just slide it right underneath like that. And then I have basic structure of what I was looking at earlier. Now I know kind of where I'm going. I'm going to take this and go around where the meat is to the end. There's a lot of cartilage and little sinewy things around here. So what I'm going to do is just going to flip that over and cut it. So basically, that's what I've done. I've taken that bone out, and this is now boneless dark meat that I can do whatever I want to. What I'm going to do with this is, you can feel that as you go through this, there's some cartilage in here that ain't cooking. This is not going to cook at all. So what I'm going to do is just cut some of that stuff off just because it's so hard. And again, I can take that, put that in my pan, and I can roast that up. This here, I'm not going to do the other leg because you've kind of seen what I did here. It's all over the place. High, low, whatever. The problem with this is if I roll it up in a nice roll, it'll cook and it'll be one piece, and I can cut it, and I'll show you later how we're going to cut it. But if I leave it like this, and I grab a mallet and a little bit of saran wrap or a bread bag, I use saran wrap here or a bread bag you have, I can take this and just flatten it out a bit. And what that's going to do is as I cook this, it's going to be a lot more even. So when or if I wanted to take some stuffing and I wanted to put some stuffing inside this leg, I could roll that up. I can take that stuffing out. I can put a little bit of Dijon mustard in there. I'm just going to take a little bit of Dijon mustard. I'm going to muck that right inside there like that. Or whatever else you like, you put in here. Whatever you like, you can put in there. And then now I can take this and roll it. And then there can be one roast right there. Make sure you're always seasoning. And again, I use my salt pepper mixture all the way on the outside. And that's one roast there. I'm going to take this, put it aside for now. I'm going to come back to that because you want to know how to tie all this up. So I'm going to move all this stuff aside, and I'm going to do one of the breasts. Take one of the breasts. Yes, there's fat here. Yes, you should clean that up. We're going to make it nice and neat and tidy. Do you want to throw in the garbage? Throw in the garbage. If you want to keep it here, you can keep it there. It'll melt off. Don't worry about it. Either way. You have a fillet inside here. I oftentimes take this fillet out and use that to seal whatever kind of stuffing I want to put. So I take my boning knife again, and I run just a nice little slot across there, maybe a little bit across here. And then this is pretty even as well. I can do whatever I want with this as well. I'm going to take my mallet and my saran wrap and put that on there, or bread bag, pound it out. But I don't have a mallet at home. Not a problem. You probably have a pot at home. Take your pot and it'll do the same thing. It's not pretty, but it'll do the exact same thing. So what you're going to do is just hammer it out until it's nice and even. So the texture is, I don't know, about an inch or two. If you want to do an inch and they're all an inch, it'll cook that much quicker. So this is here what I did. Now I'm going to take some stuffing. I'm going to put it inside. And that was a little bit extra from before. I'm going to take stuffing, make a nice little pocket inside. I'm going to take the meat, just tuck it around like that. Now the stuffing's going to pour out. No, it's not, because I have my fillet here that I'm going to use to close everything up. So as I put everything inside, I'm going to take my fillet, cover it, so that now when I roll it up, it's all going to be one piece. Okay? So what we're going to do with that now is I'm going to show you how to use the twine. When I was young, I was taught to take the string and tie it on and tie it and cut it and then tie again and cut it and everything else. Quicker, easier way. Take it, wrap it around, make yourself a little knot. I didn't put seasoning inside because my stuffing is super seasoned. I'm going to put seasoning on the outside. I'm just going to cinch that up. Not too tight, just enough. I'm going to take that string, put my hand in there. I'm going to give it a little twist. I'm going to slip it around, and then I'm already done. I'm going to give it a little snug again. I'm going to take my fingers, twist it around, do it again. I'm going to take that, twist it again, go around. Then that should be nice and snug. If you go real tight, everything's going to come out, and we don't want that. I'm going to take a chunk of string a little bit longer. I'm going to take that, I'm going to flip this over. As you can see, there's one tiny hole there, and I'm going to move this, cover the stuffing there. I'm going to take this string, just roll it underneath the other string, and I'm going to roll it underneath the other string. And you can see that fill A has totally covered the back part. I'm going to take it, spin it over. I'm going to spin it over here. I got an end there. I'm going to spin it, turn it, tie it. I have a turkey roast ready to go. It's that quick. That simple. Do you want this tidy? Fine, we can cut off the little string. This here, I'm going to take some seasonings, a little bit on one side. I'm going to spread a little bit on the other side. So I got a whole bunch of seasonings on this. What we're going to do with all this, we're going to take this, we're going to put it on our baking sheet. But before we put it on our baking sheet, we need to make sure we have a mirepoix underneath it. Okay, after it's cooked, take it out of the oven. You can see here, I have it all done. The strings are on it. I'm just going to take you can take a paring knife, boning knife. I'm going to take that, and you're just going to cut the strings off. Nice, like that. And then after you're done that, just spin it around, take your string off. Serrated knife is the best one to cut. So I'm going to take the serrated knife, use it like a saw. I'm going to cut it down. Nice and easy, and I'm cutting through it. And if you can see there, I just cut a little bit of the dark and the white. I'm going to cut one more piece off so you can see that. There's a sample of that. I'm going to slide that across. The other one has the stuffing in it. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 slices of that. I'm going to take that, lay it on the plate here. You can see we have the dark meat inside the white meat, and then we have our stuffing inside the white meat. Everything's all included, one piece, ready to roll. Nice, easy, simple. Preparation time. It's out of the oven, about 160 internal temperature. It's going to rest. It's going to go about 5 to 10 degrees depending on the size. You're going to get it to about 170 internal temperature. Once that rests, all the juices are going to flow back. Then you're going to slice that. You can present that to your guests that way. You can put it in a platter. The other one that we talked about was the stuffing. Stuffing, put it in a pan. I can take that stuffing. I'm just going to move the turkey aside. I'm going to take that stuffing, just pop it out of the pan. Again, I can take a knife and take the stuffing, dice it up, slice it. You want to lay that on the side. You can put it that way as well. So you have a few ways on presenting your stuffing, your chicken, your turkey, your duck, your goose, however you want to present it, there's that. You have your pan here. Deglaze your pan, make your gravy. There's your turkey dinner.